why the prayer is the most beloved deed to Allah Azza wa Jal is because from the very beginning of the prayer to the end of the prayer, we are remembering Allah Azza wa Jal non-stop without any distraction. You're not allowed to answer your phone during as-salat. You don't read messages during as-salat. You don't open up WhatsApp and Facebook and social media. None of that is allowed. You are purely focused in your salat. From the very beginning to the very end, it is all dhikrullah non-stop. From when you say Allahu Akbar, and then you praise Allah, Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik wa tabarak asmuka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghayruk. And then you read Quran, the most beloved word to Allah Azza wa Jal, and you begin to ponder over what you read. This is the greatest dhikr that Allah Azza wa Jal ever gave mankind, which is Al-Quran. And so you're reading this, you're remembering Allah in your salat. And then you move from that to Ar-Ruku'. In Ar-Ruku', you're saying Allahu Akbar, and you go down non-stop. I'm telling you, from the beginning to the end of a salat, non-stop dhikr for Allah Azza wa Jal. And you know, when you're moving from one position to another position in a salat, when are you supposed to say Allahu Akbar? You're supposed to say it throughout the movement. Yani you're not supposed to say it from when you move. Yani let's say you're standing and you want to go to ruku'. You don't say Allahu Akbar and then you move into ruku'. La, that's wrong. And you don't move into ruku' and when you're finally in ruku' you say Allahu Akbar. That's wrong. The correct is to say Allahu Akbar as you're moving from one position to another. So when you want to go into ruku', you will say Allahu Akbar and you stretch it out until you reach the next position. This is how you say it. Why? So that the prayer, not a single moment is that you remain silent from dhikrullah. The prayer is supposed to be continuous dhikr. You're not supposed to stop even a microsecond from dhikrullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب, so you go into ruku'. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, وَأَمَّا الرُّكُوعِ فَعَظِّمُوا فِيهِ الرَّبِّ. Honor Allah Azza wa Jalla and glorify Him in your ruku'. Subhanallah. That's what Rasulullah said. So that means say Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim. You say it minimum 10 times. Yani, there is some opinions 3, but the minimum is 10 times. You're supposed to say it 10 times. This is where a sunnah is more correctly to 10 times. We even in a sujood, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la, more correctly is that it's said 10 times. So you make, you honor Allah Azza wa Jal in your ruku'. And honor Allah. You know, some people say, what's a good number of times that I'm supposed to say Subhana Rabbi al-A'la or Subhana Rabbi al-Azim when I'm in ruku' or in sujood? How many times should I say? What's a good number of times? My brothers and sisters in Islam, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, عظموا. He said, عظموا فيه الرب. Honor Allah, glorify Him in a ruku'. So I tell you something, an answer to that question. Stay in your ruku' until you feel that you have glorified Allah. Stay in your sujood until you feel that you have really honored and glorified Allah Azza wa Jal. Because this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said. Glorify Allah in your sujood and in your ruku'. Now, so look at this. From the very beginning of a salat to the end, non-stop dhikrullah Azza wa Jal. And then you get up from al-ruku', you praise Allah, رَبَّنَا وَلَكَ الْحَمْدِ حَمْدًا كَثِيرًا طَيِّبًا مُبَارَكًا فِيهِ. You go into sujood, and that's the closest position you are to Allah Azza wa Jal, and you're continuously making dhikr of Allah. And then you're sitting on your knees after you get up from a sujood. And this kind of sitting is the sitting of a beggar. It's the sitting of someone who is in need. You're in need of Allah Azza wa Jal. So this is the time in where you say, رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي وَارْحَمْنِي وَاجْبُرْنِي وَاهْدِنِي وَعَافِنِي. These are adhkar and dua you say as you're sitting on your knees while having gotten up from a sujood. Now, until you're making at-tahiyyat, until you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, the entire salat, dhikr to Allah non-stop. This is why it was the most beloved deed to Allah Azza wa Jal. and there are absolutely no distractions in a salat. You're supposed to be focused. You're supposed to be focused to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Naam.